Hey, this is EAJ Man from Autopsy Live and the Skype Pirates. When I want to make it look like I give a shit about sports, I tune into Sports World Radio with Jeff Escow.
Jeff
Doing my time. Doing my time. Got myself a problem.
She asked me maybe if I could share her sorrow for all the men that tried to treat her wrong. Though just a baby awaiting her tomorrow. It's rock me baby all night long. She needs an answer to her confusion, someone to guide her with tenderness. But when she's asking for a solution, oh, she gets, you know, it's something like this. I don't know where we come from, I don't know where we're going to, but if all this should have a reason, we would be the last to know. So let's just hope there is a promised land. Hang on till then, as best as we can. Everybody else, you know, it fills her with compassion. That's why she tries to save the world alone. She helps the needy in her own fashion and tries to give them all her own. She needs an answer to her confusion, someone to guide her with tenderness. But when she's asking for a solution, oh, she gets, you know, it's something like this. I don't know where we come from, I don't know where we're going to, but if all this should have a reason, we would be the last to know. So let's just hope there is a promised land. Hang on till then, as best as we can. Rock me baby all night long. 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 Rock me baby all night long.
All I want is to be loved. All I want is you. All I want is to be from somewhere, an address for me and you. Sometimes it feels impossible to get along. It feels impossible to get along. Again, I'm living with my parents. Again, I'm feeling blue. Again, you've made me question our love. Again, with you, sometimes it feels impossible to get along. Yeah, it feels impossible to get along. Sometimes sit alone in silence, waiting to hear from you. I pray there's something left inside us. If it's broken, I've got some glue. I'll fix it all for you. Fix it all for you. I'll fix it all for you. I'll fix it all for you. It all for you. But it feels impossible to.
I'm messed up, growing tired of knots, tangled up in problems, and not caring enough. Now I'm on a journey to find what's right, always telling the truth, but hiding all the lies. And don't go thinking I'm being myself. I just act this way around you, and someone else isn't where I wanna be. Let's look in the kitchen and the living room. Nothing to find but what's left from a really great time that wasn't any of mine. Running away feels like a storm. Let's throw our problems out the door today. Well, I'm finding things clear to me.
from San Diego. It's Sports World Radio. You've never heard a sports show like this. Oh, no, you haven't.
Oh, blow me.
You got it.
Holy fucking shit.
What in the hell is your major malfunction?
Can't believe that goddamn son of a bitch did that fucking crap.
Don't give me any of your shit.
Right?
Yeah, that's right. Those are your hosts, Jeff Escow and Sean Mann. Remember, those who can't play sports, talk about it. These two tell it like it is. Tune into Sports World Radio for the fastest hour of sports of your life. So here they are, the douchebags of sports themselves, Jeff Escow and Sean Mann.
Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to Sports World Radio. I am your host, Jeff Escow. We got a jam-packed show for you. Welcome back, everybody. We've been on a little hiatus. I've been taking a little break, getting a lot of work stuff done. We are back today. Glad everybody could be with us today. Like I said, got a jam-packed show. You can listen to Sports World Radio right on, SportsWorldRadio.com. Also on HonestAnswerRadio.com. You can also connect with us on Facebook over there on Facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. We're also on Twitter, SportsWorldRadio with no O in world. Follow us on Twitter, SportsWorldRadio, no O in world. It's spelled WRLD over there, SportsWorldRadio on Twitter. Thank you. Okay. And then also, if you want to get today's show, contact if you have Skype. Only if you have Skype. Head on over to SportsWorldRadio.com and click the Call Now button on the left-hand side of the page. And you will be able to call the show only if you have Skype. Only if you have Skype. So get in touch with us that way. Or come on over to Spreaker and hang out with us in the chat room like so many do for every show. With all that getting out of the way, let's bring in the co-host, Mr. Sean Mann, the update man. What's going on there, buddy?
Hey, everybody. Welcome, everybody, to Sports World Radio. It is 7:05 p.m. on the East Coast, which makes it 4:05 p.m. on the West. It is Wednesday, November 20th, 2013. It is great to be back, and I have to tell you, everybody, I had a wonderful time going to Washington, D.C. Saw so much history. I could do it all over again. I had a blast, and I know that when I got to Dulles International Airport, Jeff actually texted me, wanted to see how I was doing, and I said, hey, man, I'm doing great. Maybe we'll still make that trip to New York work out, huh?
Yeah, and you want to know something? Well, hey, Dr. Myth, this is for you. Welcome to the show, hanging out in the chat room. Eddie from Lee Summit's hanging out in the chat room with us as well.
Hey, bud.
Dr. Myth, while we were waiting to come on the air in the background, him and I were talking. We were talking about his trip, and I asked him, how was your trip, this and that. I said, let me ask you a question, dude. Did you get a chance to use the Oval Office bathroom?
Ha, ha, ha.
Bathroom
Very
boy,
funny.
man. Bathroom boy. So I asked him, I said, did you ask the president to use the facilities? Did you say, yo, Prez, man, I got to use the facilities. Where is it at? Did you? That would have been great, man.
Oh, my gosh. That's hysterical. Ha,
Let me ask you another question. When you were walking around there, what cap did you have on your head?
Well, as you all know, I wore my 2013 Boston Red Sox championship hat, and I tell you, even on the trip to D.C., I got compliments from people saying, go Red Sox! Red Sox are the best! 2013 World Series champions! And I was like, yep, that's right.
Okay, now the next question. What jacket were you wearing?
I was wearing my Red Sox jacket. Yeah.
Okay, I want to explain something to you.
Yeah?
Baseball season is over. That stuff should have been put away before you left the trip.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Real funny.
You should have been wearing your New England stuff. So you could have been booed everywhere you went.
I probably would have gotten compliments
Did you
again.
see a lot of Redskins gear while you were out there?
I did see people with RG3 gear.
Let me ask you a question. Did you talk to those people and ask them about what they think about the name Redskins?
No, I did not.
You should have. You were out there in Washington. You should have done some investigative reporting and say, listen, I'm a co-host of a radio show out in California, and we always debate on the name. What's your opinion? Blammo! And you could have boom, bang, boom. And come back and report it on it. What's the matter with you?
Because, hey, I was focused on enjoying the histoy instead of having to deal with the problem with the Washington.
I would have been asking everybody, man. Are you kidding me? I would have been. So you live here, sir? Yeah, I do. Okay, are you a sports fan, sir? Yes, I am. What's your opinion of the name Redskins? The Washington Redskins. I would have been asking everybody. Dude, I would have had my little tape recorder with me, and I would have been recording it and everything. So I can listen back and note it up and talk about it. Are you kidding me? Next time you go to a city like that, you got to do some investigative reporting.
Well, I just had a real fun time. We first went to Richmond, Virginia. We learned about the Confederate history of the Civil War. We went to the Jefferson Davis Museum, Monticello, went to President Jefferson's place. I know this is sports. Went to President Madison's house. I went to the White House. I went to the Capitol. I couldn't go to the monument because they had an earthquake there.
When did you have time to sleep?
When I got back to the motel room, and I was pretty exhausted, and then I had to get up early because we had a lot of tours planned to go to places.
Wow, man. You guys were out there amongst the people. See, you were out there amongst the people, and you didn't even ask the question, especially in that town.
Well, Jeff, it was great. Because I got a chance when going into the Capitol, they had statues of all the former presidents, President Washington, President Lincoln, former senators, I went to the inside and listened to the House of Representatives. They were talking about a bill. I think it was on the Obamacare. And then I went and listened to Senator McCain, and they were debating about the Iranian crisis.
So you went and listened to some crap, huh?
Yeah, I did.
You went and listened to some crap, and while you were there, you didn't even do investigative reporting and asking about the Washington Redskins name? What's the matter with you, man? Come on, bathroom boy. Hey, speaking of that, how are the bathroom facilities? Because I know you used them. How are they? How are the bathroom facilities out there in Washington?
The bathroom facilities were very comfortable.
Very comfortable. Very comfortable. That's funny. That's funny. No, I just, people wanted to know how your trip was and all that, and I know you had a good time. But next time you go back to Washington, please ask the people, because I know you were out there amongst them. Did you wear something Boston Red Sox gear every day while you were there?
Oh yeah, I wore the Red Sox hoodies. I wore my Red Sox jacket, and I got compliments all around.
Oh my God.
Lion from Lee's Summit, you can't be saying that. He just took a crap before. Gosh, man. Oh, God, that's terrible.
That's a nice smell leaving around the house before the show begins, isn't it?
Oh, my God. All right, anyway, let's keep everything.
But what I want to know is, why didn't you ask the Washington people out there what was their opinion on the Washington Redskins name? That would have been great broadcast journalism right there.
Well, probably it wouldn't. I don't know. They probably were just disappointed about the idea of having their name changed and stuff, too. My point was just to have a good time and go see all the history. And I also went inside the Supreme Court. And I went to the Library of Congress where the National Treasure movie was shot.
I'm watching the Knicks-Pacers game right now. Yes, Browning, you know me. If the Knicks game is on TV, I'm watching it right now. All right, Mr. Sean, man, what's the first topic of the day?
Hold on. All right, there. First topic of the day we start in, actually, Major League Baseball. In Major League Baseball, of course, the biggest news that's making headlines, we'll get to Rodriguez in a sec. The New York Yankees are saying, you know what? We want Robinson Cano back, but we're not going to offer you $300 million. So apparently it looks like the days of Robinson Cano being a Yankee probably could be over. Another team that is expressing interest, although things are starting to fall through. are the New York Mets, the crosstown rivals. What do you think there, Jeff?
They had the Mets had dinner with Jay-Z in New York the other night and stuff, just to take a feel. And Sandy Alderson, who is the man in charge for the Mets now, who met with Jay-Z, said it was a nice meeting, it was a preliminary meeting. They went a little over the top with the PowerPoint and all that and this and that and the presentation and that and this. He says, there's no way in hell that we're paying somebody $300 million for 10 years. It ain't going to happen.
Yeah, and I think this is critical for all teams who want Robinson Cano. And I think the Yankees know very well that, look, we have the highest payroll in baseball, but we're not going to go with that deal. If you want to have a deal done, you're going to have to agree to it on our terms. Robinson Cano, ever since the season has been over, has been asking for too much money.
You're fixated on that, ain't you?
Well,
you are fixated on that because you talk about that a lot. Whenever you're on the show, you always bring that up. So you're really asphyxiated about that, aren't you?
Well, yeah, Jeff, when you have to think about it, baseball season, as you said, is over with. Now it's getting to be big with the hot stove. And you got to keep in mind, everybody, that the winter meetings are coming up very soon. And there will be a lot of transactional decisions and moves with the teams.
You're talking baseball, and it's middle of football season, basketball season, and you're talking baseball. I love it.
Yeah, well, Jeff, I was going to ask you, and this is something I've been thinking about. Where do you think Robinson Cano will end up?
He could end up not playing for anybody.
Especially when he's asking for that high of a price with $300 million.
Exactly. And he could be stubborn as hell and not budge an inch. So he could be sitting at home watching TV.
That's true. And so the Yankees are saying we have no interest in it. The Mets, there might be a possible
I doubt that.
possibility. I don't know, though.
I don't see him going to the Mets and them paying. I don't see anybody paying him $300 million. It ain't going to happen.
It's going to be a question. It's going to be a question on what the Yankees decide to do. And, of course, remember, the Yankees are also trying to look at maybe Stephen Drew or Johnny Peralta, Jacoby Ellsbury, Sin Shu Chu, and Brian McCann. So they're looking at those players. But things are going to continue to pick up as the weeks go on before spring training happens, though. But I think it's going to be critical for all teams with what's going to end up happening. And the other thing that's getting to be a big headline with the Yankees, and we knew that this was going to come up, Jeff, Alex Rodriguez says, you know what? Bud Selig hates my guts.
Well, you want to know something? I read an article earlier today that Alex Rodriguez left the hearings and all pissed off because they refused to force Bud Selig to come and testify. And I happen to think that's wrong. I happen to think that they're refusing to get Bud Selig to come and testify, and A-Rod's pissed. I agree with A-Rod. A-Rod should be pissed because that son of a bitch should be to testify. He's the commissioner of the freaking league, for Christ's sakes. He's the one that made the decision, so he should be there to testify.
It's an absolute joke when you think about a few months ago when Alex Rodriguez learned that he had to serve a 211-game suspension. That when I heard that, you and I were both stunned and disgusted with it. Miguel Tejada got a 105-game suspension.
Well, I happen to think the new number now is going to be 162. That's going to be the new number because that's how many games they play a season, right?
162 games.
Right.
That's right.
I happen to think it's going to be 162 games. I think they're going to force him to sit out next year. So I happen to think it's going to be they're going to reduce it to 162. Not 211, so he'll be sitting out next year. Bud Selig has to show up to testify, and they refuse to force the committee refuses, or the judge, whatever, the arbitrator refuses to force Bud Selig to testify. That is ridiculous. So I understand why A-Rod is pissed. He said he's not going to the hearings no more. He's so pissed off he's not going. He'll let his lawyers go there. I don't blame him. I don't blame him one bit.
And am I concerned and worried and fearful about this? I'm not. I feel like the best thing to do is they've got to figure out a way to work this thing out. But I don't see it happening. Selig says my decision stands as followed. You're going to serve a 211-game suspension. And I would say that's definitely called getting screwed. You have to agree with Rodriguez in a way. We all know he took performance-enhancing drugs. And you have to know
211
that
games is ridiculous, Sean. 211 games is ridiculous.
it is, because think about it. He gets 211 games, and Miguel Tejada is going to be serving 105 games for that suspension that he was hit with for performance-enhancing drugs a few months ago.
Right. So we'll see what happens with that. Hey, St. Louis Cardinals extended Matheny's contract. Gave him a 3-year extension.
You know what? I agree. You took the words right out of my mouth as the next topic. I think this is a smart move for the Cardinals. Mike Matheny's done a heck of a job ever since Tony La Russa left. You got to remember, they went to the NLCS. They lost in 7 games to the Giants.
Right. They
played against the Boston Red Sox in the World Series and lost in 6 games. So Matheny really did a very good job with the team.
So he gets a 3-year extension, and today Chris Carpenter, their pitcher, retired. So they gave a 3-year extension to Matheny, and they lose Chris Carpenter. How about that?
Everybody's been wondering, too, with the Cardinals, were they ever going to be the same without Albert Pujols and Tony La Russa? No, they don't miss them. They realize we are still a team that can be tough in the National League, and they definitely were. They had no problem winning in the first round. The Pirates took them to 5 games, and then, of course, in the NLCS, the Dodgers took them to 6, and then, of course, the Red Sox beat them in the Game 6. So, it's Cardinals will be back, but they're going to be a different team because who knows what's going to happen with Carlos Beltran.
Who knows what's going to happen with Carlos Beltran? Who knows what's going to happen with, everything else that's going on in there with Cano? Because, I almost think that Beltran's going to stay in St. Louis.
It's a possibility, and of course you got to keep in mind a number of teams are interested.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to go. I think he really likes it in St. Louis.
Did a
St.
good
Louis
job
is
for them.
It's a great baseball town. There you go. Look at this. The Knicks are winning 13-0.
Yeah, he did a great job, and St. Louis is a very good baseball town. They're very passionate. They got a good fan base, and the Cardinals know they want to be really, really tough. And with Beltran, though, he's going to look at St. Louis, and he's looking at other teams. The Red Sox, of course, I've been hearing have been expressing interest because they don't know what's going to happen with Jacoby Ellsbury and with the other free agents. I know, look, I'm a diehard Sox fan, and I know that they're not going to keep their whole team from this year together. It happens. It's free agency, and it's money can be an issue.
Look at Andrew. Goes, not to change the subject. How about them Eagles? They suck, just like the Giants. And that NFC East is about to change, my friend. That NFC East is about to freaking change. Hey, before we get into that really quick, hey, Schmedley, you're still in first place in the Fantasy Football Pick'em League.
I know I am. It's called Schmedley Pride, huh?
How about that? You and Ebo are tied, actually. You both got 103 points. And then Gio and Kenny are tied. Actually, me, Gio, and Kenny are tied. The 3 of us are tied at 98. And you and Ebo are tied at 103.
Browning, you are so smart to talk about the NFL. Thank you for bringing that up. We get to the standings. If you look at the NFC East right now,
there we come, baby.
You got Philadelphia, that's 6-5. You got Dallas, which is 5-5. The Giants are 4-6. And you think about it, everybody thinks the Giants were buried and gone. They were 0-6. They've won 4 in a row. They're starting to play well. And the Washington Redskins are 3-7. And it looks like there'll be no miracle down in the nation's capital this year.
Hey, Browning bastard.
Mm-hmm.
Do not get crazy, okay? You guys are in first place, yes, but you guys have a bye this week. You're not playing. You guys have your bye this week. It's the last week of byes. You get your bye this week. The Dallas Cowboys play the New York Giants in New York this week. It's the second game. Cowboys are coming off their bye. Now, this is what's going to happen. I'm telling you right now. The Giants are going to win this game Sunday. Giants are going to be 5-6. Cowboys are going to be 5-6. Philadelphia is going to be 6-5, 1 game ahead, and then all hell's going to break loose.
Yeah, and that NFC East is very, very competitive. Just when people say the Giants are buried, they're done with, they suck, they're gone, then we see an absolute turnaround. If you look at, it's amazing, Jeff. I'm looking at it right now. You got Philadelphia, okay, 6-5, all right, like you said. They're 1-4 at home, but they've done very well on the road.
And they're
Dallas,
3-2, and they're 3-2 in the division, which is important. Because these three teams can end up at 8-8, and then the Giants will not go in. Because right now the Giants are sitting at 1-2 in their division.
And if you look at Dallas, okay, the Cowboys, they're 4-1 at home, and and the area that's hurt the Dallas Cowboys the most has been the road. They're only but remember this, they are the only undefeated team in that division. They are 3-0. So the Giants have to remember that too.
I understand that, but the Giants are hurting on defense right now. I mean, I'm sorry, not the Giants, the Cowboys. The Cowboys are hurting on defense right now. And they're losing players left and right.
Yeah, think about some of the games that the Cowboys have lost.
Cowboys are
There have been some games on the road that they've lost in heartbreak.
What are you kidding? Cowboys are 1-4 on the road and 4-1 at home. Complete opposite. They stink on the road, which is beautiful.
Yeah, and you have to keep in mind, too, if you look at the way the Cowboys season has gone, they got embarrassed on the 10th of November against New Orleans, which I predicted.
Well, the one problem I'm worried about, Sean, is that the Dallas Cowboys had 2 weeks to get ready for the New York Giants. That's the only problem I have.
Jerry Jones better hope and pray that his Cowboys win. Otherwise, if he doesn't, he'll hear a lot of it from down in Big D. And if you look at some of the games, though, the game against the Chiefs, that was heartbreak. They lost by 1 point. San Diego, they had a lead of like 21-10, and they blew that game down there. Denver, they lost a heartbreaker at home. And then, of course, remember, the game against Detroit, the one where they were whining babies because Des Bryant wasn't getting the football enough, and they blew the game in the final seconds.
And I think that's started their downslide right there.
Yeah.
I think that started it.
And now I look at the Cowboys' schedule. Okay, yeah, they play your Giants on Sunday, and I expect it to be a great game. Probably, maybe high scoring, but I think it probably would come down to a field goal. But
who do the Cowboys?
The Cowboys better be ready to play this game.
Who do they play
pressure's on them.
Who do they play the week after the Giants?
After that, okay, they play Thanksgiving at home against the Oakland Raiders.
Oh, they'll probably win there. Okay, next game.
Then they played December 9th, and that is a Monday night game at the Chicago Bears.
Oh, and another game. What's in the game after that?
At home against the Green Bay Packers, December 15th.
That's a win. Okay, go ahead.
December 22nd at the Washington Redskins.
Oh, man. Okay, that's good. Maybe Washington will win. Go ahead.
And then Browning, here you go. At home, last game against the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord.
It would appear Dallas thinks that they've probably got an easier schedule for the second half of the season.
I think they do. Giants have a tough schedule. I looked at it. It's not pretty.
I'm going there right. Yeah.
It's not. Giants final 6 games or whatever the hell it is. It's not pretty, man.
Yeah, they're hosting, of course, Dallas, and then they have 3 games on the road and then 2 at home.
Yeah, who do they play after Dallas?
At Washington, and that's a Sunday night game.
At Washington, and then they got San Diego, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here in San Diego, right?
Yep.
And then who they got after that?
Get ready for this one. Hosting the Seattle Seahawks.
Exactly. And then who after that?
At the Detroit Lions.
Exactly. And then who after that?
Last game at home, Washington Redskins.
Blammo. The Giants don't have an easy schedule. Going out. You know what I mean? It's not that easy going out.
And whatever happens this weekend, whoever wins this game has a shot of getting it as a wild card right now. The division is still there, but we'll see how Philadelphia looks. You look at the Eagles. Okay, so they win on Sunday against the Redskins. They have the bye. December 1st, they're at home against the Arizona Cardinals. The Philadelphia Eagles are.
So, yeah, it's going to be interesting, John. Giants don't have an easy schedule finishing out. Cowboys don't have an easy schedule finishing out. I can't wait till we finish out. It's going to be kind of fun to watch it.
Browning, I'd probably say right now your Eagles probably have a favorable schedule because you got Arizona at home, then you're at home against Detroit, at Minnesota December 15th.
Oh, man. Go ahead.
At home December 22nd against the Bears.
Ooh, okay.
And then, December 29th is the game where Philadelphia goes to Dallas.
This NFC East is going to be really freaky by the end of the season, I'm telling you, man.
Not only freaky, but it's going to be nerve-wracking.
I'm telling you. So let me ask you a question. Did you get to see the game Monday night?
No, I did not get a chance to see the game on Monday night. I saw the highlights of it, and tough loss for the New England Patriots. And I'm telling you, even though the Patriots didn't get the call, if I'm a Patriot fan, I say, you know what? We have to forget about that and focus on the big game coming up Sunday night at home against Denver.
You are a Patriots fan.
That's what I know. I am a Patriots fan.
Oh, yeah, I am a Patriots fan. What the hell's the matter with you?
I had too much fun in D.C.
Yeah, I think you might still be jet-lagged a little bit over there, buddy.
Well, Sunday night, though, when you think about it, that's going to be a great game. And you know what I'm saying? Since I'm a Patriots fan, the pressure is on the Patriots. They know darn well they need to play a good game against Denver because right now, if you look at it, Denver, I'll go to the AFC West. Denver, they're 9-1. Kansas City is 9-1. Oakland is 4-6. You can rule them out. And San Diego 4-6.
How
You can
about that?
rule them out.
How about that? In the West, in the AFC West, you got 2 teams at 9-1 and 2 teams at 4-6. How crazy is that?
Crazy indeed. But Oakland and San Diego won't
They're
make
done.
it.
No, they're done. Just like Minnesota's done. Green Bay's finished, I believe. You know, Atlanta's finished. Tampa Bay is finished. St. Louis is finished. Arizona's still got a slim chance. You know, let me see. Houston's done. Jacksonville's done. And I believe Tennessee is not going to make it, the Hill of Beans. Cleveland, I think, is done. Baltimore at 4-6. I don't think anybody else is going to win that division except Cincinnati. And I don't think anybody else in that division is going to make the playoffs but Cincinnati because you got Miami and the Jets sitting at 5-5. Is that ridiculous? Those are your two wild card teams right now. The Miami and the Jets. Is that ridiculous?
Yeah, very crazy indeed. Would you like to head to an update?
Yeah, let's go to an update. This update is brought to you by BuyHuntingEquipment.com. For your camping, fishing, hiking, and outdoor gear and hunting equipment, head on over to BuyHuntingEquipment.com. That's BuyHuntingEquipment.com. Take it away, Sean, man, with the only update of the day.
Thank you, Jeff, and welcome everybody to the bottom of the hour. It is 7:31 p.m. on the East Coast, which makes it 4:31 p.m. on the West. We start in Major League Baseball. Right now, the New York Yankees are saying one thing. We want Robinson Cano, but we will not offer you $300 million for, I believe, 10 years is what they were looking at. The New York Mets general manager Omar Minaya says, you know what? The deal is very unlikely after the meeting they had with Jay-Z, the rapper. In St. Louis, Mike Matheny got a 3-year contract extension to remain the manager of the Cardinals. Carpenter for the Cardinals, Chris Carpenter, has decided to call it quits. He's hanging up the cleats. Alex Rodriguez, of course, has been nothing but trouble for Major League Baseball. He's been frustrated. He's been lonely. He's felt miserable. And it just continues to get worse as he just blasts Bud Selig. He goes, you know what? I have not used performance-enhancing drugs. And he's also saying that Bud Selig hates my guts. But Bud Selig has a different view of that opinion. He says that it will remain a 211-game suspension, meaning that Alex Rodriguez will not be playing all of next year, which means it's a year of his career gone. In other news to report, we go to the NBA right now. Lots of games to get to on this Wednesday night. As you all know, the NBA in full swing. Here we are already a couple weeks in. The Brooklyn Nets are taking on the Charlotte Bobcats. Right now, the Brooklyn Nets lead 24-22. Brooklyn is 3-7 overall. They're 1-5 on the road. They're taking on a Bobcats team that's 5-6 and 2-3 at home. Washington Wizards are at the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's 30-18, the Wizards over the Cavaliers. The New York Knicks are playing right now on ESPN. 19-11, the Knicks lead Indiana. And speaking of which, this is a rematch of the Eastern Conference semifinals. As you all know, the Pacers took that series in 6 games. The Miami Heat appear to be playing better of late after losing a heartbreaker against the Celtics. They have won 4 in a row. They're taking on the Orlando Magic. The Heat lead 22-17. The Toronto Raptors taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. Toronto leads 25-23. There are other games on the NBA tonight. The Detroit Pistons at the Atlanta Hawks down in Atlanta, Georgia. In Milwaukee, Wisconsin, it'll be the Portland Trailblazers taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. Los Angeles Clippers at the Minnesota Timberwolves. Clippers are 7-4 overall, and the Timberwolves are 7-5. The team that is the worst team in the NBA right now, that would be the Utah Jazz. They are 1-11. They're taking on the New Orleans Pelicans. Down in San Antonio, Texas, in the Alamo City, the Boston Celtics, who had won 4 in a row, have now lost 4 straight. They're taking on the San Antonio Spurs tonight. Sacramento Kings at the Phoenix Suns. Houston Rockets at the Dallas Mavericks. And the last game, it'll be on tonight. It'll be the Minnesota Wild at the Ottawa Senators. Pittsburgh Penguins at the Washington Capitals. Columbus Blue Jackets taking on the Flames. And the New Jersey Devils are taking on the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. As we get prepared for week number 12 of the NFL, tomorrow night's game on the NFL Network will be the New Orleans Saints at the Atlanta Falcons. Week number 12 starts tomorrow. For your update for Sports World Radio, I am Sean Mann. Back to you, Jeff Escow, host of Sports World Radio.
That update was brought to you by BuyHuntingEquipment.com. For all your camping, fishing, hiking, outdoor gear, and hunting gear, head on over to BuyHuntingEquipment.com. That's BuyHuntingEquipment.com. All right, welcome back to the show. Hey, Sean, that article that I sent you yesterday, did you read that?
Yeah, I saw that.
How crazy is that? I saw an article yesterday where I was perusing around the internet. Actually, it was late last night while I was perusing around the internet, and Sean's Skype was still on, which I was shocked about. And I sent it to him. And the reason why I read the article is because the headline got me. The headline says, "New basketball league is part of group's goal to help professional athletes extend their careers." Now, this, I found this on the postgame.com. It was written by Amy Parlapiano, is her name, Amy Parlapiano. A great article. Basically, this league is going to be a new basketball league. It's going to be called, I got to get down to it. It's going to be called the USPA Extension Basketball League. The USPA Extension Basketball League. It is set to launch the summer of 2014. The league will be home to former NBA players who are 1 to 4 years removed from the sport, and will give those players a chance to not only keep doing what they love, but stay connected with fans, the community, increase their own profile in the process. The USPA has a relationship with the NBA Players Association as well as the Retired Players Association, but there's no direct connection with the NBA. Okay? Now, they've got some they have a television deal to have their games broadcast in July and August already. Okay?
I think
How about that, dude?
I think it's great for basketball to continue to keep doing this. It's great to expand it and make it really, really good.
It's going to be crazy. Wait till that they have John Starks.
Yep, I saw the picture of John Starks in the
Starks
article.
is going to coach the New York team. Okay. Now, if I remember correctly, they're going to play 14 games. I'm reading this right from the article. They will play 14 games in July and August, 7 home and 7 away, with the championship tournament in September. Now, here are the markets for the basketball teams. The markets are New York, Boston, Philadelphia, Washington, Miami, Atlanta, Minneapolis, Detroit, Chicago, Houston, Dallas, Denver, Phoenix, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. They expect to draw between 5 and 6,000 fans at home games in the cities like New York and LA and the big cities like that. Okay? The tickets, $25 per ticket.
Yeah, and I'm looking at it right now. We'll do a shoot around with the kids who are under the age of 15 before the game starts.
Now, see, that's really cool. What they're going to do, is they got 16 major cities chosen for these teams. And what they're going to do, the teams will also travel to play exhibition games in cities that don't get the luxury of having an NBA team to root for, like Little Rock, Arkansas. Will get a chance to interact with former players through various exhibition games as well as charity appearances. Okay? There's 200 of the top 200 markets, 30 cities have NBA teams. George says that means that there are 170 that don't. In those 170, there are 140 million people. Places like Cincinnati or Louisville, they're all candidates to have special events. Now, Anthony Mason, who used to be John Stark's teammate with the New York Knicks, he's going to be involved as well. He'll be focusing on what will come in the issues off the court. He will be vice president of community, vice president of crap, where it will be his job to find those places where players can make a difference, whether it's hosting clinics or playing basketball in the park with fans. They're also going to be doing Hall of Famers like Walt Frazier will be involved as well, another former New York Knick, and will be available for heightened fan interaction that comes at a much larger price than the $25 basketball games. For those who can afford it, there will be chances through the USPA to buy special events with former stars, such as a week-long fishing trip with 2 or 3 Hall of Famers to Alaska, which gives older ex-players and their fans an opportunity to interact in the kind of ways that will be hard to find anywhere else. How crazy is that? They also have notable former players involved with the launch of the USPA include Tim Hardaway, Jalen Rose, Maurice Evans, Jay Williams. Also former NFL receiver Ahmad Rashad. They're going to do things like really crazy stuff I read in this article. They're going to what they're going to do is they're going to give fans. Here, let me read this. The key to that attendance, besides guys like Starks on the sidelines, George says it's the affordability, $25 per ticket, and the possibilities for a really interactive fan experience. We'll do a shoot-around with the kids who are under the age of 15 before the game. We'll host a players' dinner afterwards with both teams where fans can come and join. There are a lot of opportunities to get more involved. How crazy is that, Sean?
Very crazy, but I think it's a great thing to do this and make it fun for the kids and just for Starks and for Mason to do it. It's incredible.
And they have other people ready to freaking rock and roll, dude.
Yep.
You know, they have other guys like Tim Hardaway, playing Jalen Rose, Maurice Evans, Jay Williams. They also have, in addition to basketball, there are ideas developing similar leagues with the different sports. Although plans are not concrete yet, in the meantime, players from other sports can still get involved in the fan interaction and community events that the USPA offers. Jay Fielder and Antonio Pierce are among former NFL players committed to the project already. So they got football players committed to this project. This is pretty freaking cool, man.
It's cool, it's awesome, and really, really spectacular when you think about all the cities that are involved and the former NBA players making that a big objective.
They got 16 teams. They're going to play 14 games. And the cities they got are New York, Boston, Philly, Washington, Miami, Atlanta, Minneapolis, Detroit, Chicago, Houston, Dallas, Denver, Phoenix, LA, San Francisco. Unfreaking believable, man. I wish there was one down here in San Diego. I'd be at it. Quick, man. You kidding me? 7 home games to check out? Hell yeah. Hell yes, man. I'd get me a freaking press pass for that crap. That's pretty cool. I'm kind of excited for this. I want to check it out. I can't wait to see what's going on. So pay attention to that. It's called the U.S. Pro Athletes Enterprise, which is U.S. Pro AE, which they're calling it the USPA, the U.S. Pro Athletes. U.S. Pro Athletes. That's going to be the league. That's going to be the league name. Is that crazy? But hey,
it is crazy.
They're doing something, man. They're
doing something to make basketball evolve, expand, and get bigger and bigger.
Well, not only that, they're giving players who only get to play 3-4 years in the NBA a chance to make their career go a little bit longer and play ball, which is what they know. Because in the article, it starts off, we all know and care about the players who have successful long careers, where their faces are planted on fans' walls for years to come, but mainly the people who don't have those long careers. You know what I'm saying? Some players are out in the NBA in their 20s, but they can still play ball. But now they don't know what to do with themselves. Now they can play in the USPA Extension Basketball League.
That's right.
You know, they're not going to make a lot of money doing it, but at least they'll be doing something, and it should be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Should be a lot of fun. I like that idea of doing a shoot-around with the kids under age of 15 or under. I like the idea of the player dinners afterwards. That's really cool. You know?
And making it what you call, Jeff, a worldwide event, and making it big for, like you said, shoot around, the dinner, and John Starks doing it and Anthony Mason doing it.
Let me ask you a question. How would you like to go on a week-long fishing trip with Walt Frazier? Huh?
I would be up for it.
Are you
because
kidding
he
me?
was an NBA great. It would be like if I wanted to go fishing with Larry Bird or Magic or Jordan or something like that.
I'll tell you something. I don't want to go to Alaska to go fishing for a freaking week and freeze my ass off.
It's a lot colder there, too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would rather be in a place where we can fire up the show with Walt Frazier. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I could see that happening.
I would rather go to a place that has the internet and electricity. I don't want to go to Alaska. Freeze my ass off.
I would not want to go to Alaska either. Too cold.
No. But I'll tell you one thing. I wouldn't mind spending a week-long trip with Mr. Walt Frazier there, hanging out. If we could fish from the ground, I'm cool with that. Standing there just fishing, I'm golden with that. Man, I'm going to go do the show for a minute, Walt. Come on.
Come join us.
All right, that'd be all. I would love to do that. Are you kidding me? You kidding me? Maybe you and I could I could figure out a way how we could become the official radio station of the USPA basketball, the USPA Extension Basketball League. Get in on it now on the ground floor before it gets crazy. So check this out. It's by Amy Paller. I gotta say her name correctly because she deserves it, because she wrote a great article. Amy Parler-Piano. That's how it goes. Parler-Piano. Yeah. Amy Parler-Piano. Great article. I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna put it up on sportsworldradio.info after the show, So you can wait for that if you
Even
like.
on the fan page too on Facebook too.
Yeah, I mean, great article. I really enjoyed it a lot.
I'm
What
ready
do
to
you got
keep
for
on
me?
going here, Jeff.
What do you got for me? What do you got for me there, Dingleberry?
Yeah, I was going to go back real quickly to the NFL standings here. You go back to the NFC. Okay, we covered the East. Okay, the NFC North. It goes like this: you've got Detroit, which is 6-4. You've got Chicago 6-4. Green Bay 5-5. I've said it before and I'll say it again. With them losing Aaron Rodgers, that has really impacted their team. The Vikings have been done from day one. They're 2-8. Right now, I can't believe I'm saying it. Detroit and Chicago. How weird is it, Jeff, to see Detroit being in this thing with Chicago? Now, I know they made the playoffs a few years ago, but isn't it kind of weird that they're tied for first?
Yeah, of course they're tied. Of course it's weird that they're tied for first, man. I like it. I'm happy about it. I like Detroit. I've always liked Detroit. You know?
Well, it comes on the fact that, it's been 5 years. Remember, when you and I started doing Sports World Radio together, the Lions never won a game 5 years ago. They were 0-16. Schwartz has done a great job of just turning that team around and bringing football back to Detroit, because when Matt Millen was, of course, the president of the Lions only went 31-84 when he was president of Detroit. So ever since he's left, things have really kind of gotten better for the Lions, but it's taken little by little for them to get there.
Little by little. It'll by it'll.
And in the NFC South, beginning of the year on the show, I picked the Atlanta Falcons to win the division. But right now, the Falcons at the bottom, they are 2-8. Tampa Bay, 2-8. Right now, it's another two-team race. I had a feeling the Saints were going to be back to the winning ways since Sean Payton took over and learned his lesson from the bounty scandal. And then, of course, now, I can't believe I'm saying this, the Carolina Panthers are 7-3, one game behind New Orleans.
Carolina Panthers, man, they're one hell of a team. We talked about them a couple of weeks back. They're one heck of a team, ain't they?
With Cam Newton, yeah.
Yeah, they got their shit together, don't they?
And Ron Rivera as the coach.
Mm-hmm. They got their shit together, don't they? He's doing one hell of a job over there, Mr. Ron Rivera, ain't he?
He's done a great job.
Their defense is awesome.
Yeah, he's done a great job. And Cam Newton is really really has done a great job of growing and learning the NFL, and everybody didn't even know if he could handle the NFL level and going from college, but he has done a great job with them.
He's done a really fantastic job.
And in the NFC West, the team that could be very, very tough to beat the team that will be tough when the playoffs begin. I had San Francisco, remember at the beginning of the year, I picked them to be 14-2 and represent the NFC West, and apparently that's a change right now, because where I live, there are a lot of people excited about the Seattle Seahawks. They are 10-1.
I can't believe you didn't pick them. You living so close. You traitor, you.
Well, you have to keep in mind, Jeff, the reason why I went with San Francisco is because they were the team that were the defending NFC champions until somebody knocks them out. And I really thought that they would be a good team. But this year, the 49ers are a team that is still competitive for the wild card. But right now, Seattle's going to win the NFC West division. And who can stop them in the NFC? I don't particularly know who is going to be strong enough.
Giants
Maybe
will
New
stop
Orleans will have a chance.
Giants will stop them. Yeah, lots of luck with that.
Seattle, Pete Carroll.
They're 10-1.
I know, and Pete Carroll has done a heck of a job. And I know, Jeff, I told you about Seattle playing the Giants in a couple weeks when they go to MetLife. Ooh.
They're the best team in the NFL.
Yeah, and they're 7-0 in the conference.
They're 5-0 at home, 3-0 in the division, 7-0 in the conference, and they're on a 6-game winning streak. Hello?
Yeah, 3-0 in the division, and
Kidding me?
the only loss the Seahawks had was when they lost by 6 points against the Indianapolis Colts.
That town's got to be going bananas over there, because everybody else in that team is either 6-4 or 4-6 in that division.
Well, where I live here in Idaho, I live I'm
And I
only
hate
about
to tell
5
you.
hours away from Seattle. Where I live, a lot of people have got Seahawk flags out. I've seen people. I went to the mall today, saw people just wearing Seahawk stuff. They feel really good about this year's team, and maybe they feel like this could be the year they could go to the Super Bowl. Remember, Seattle really hasn't had a whole lot to cheer about throughout their
I hate to tell you
championship
something, Sean.
history. The last championship in Seattle was 1979 when Lenny Wilkins was coach of the Seattle Sonics, and of course Seattle Sonics were big in the George Karl era, and then of course with the Seahawks, they had some years where they were kind of like up and down. But this could be the best Seahawks team ever.
Are you done now? Because
Yeah.
you have a tendency to just keep rambling on and rambling on. I shut up a long time ago.
I know.
You just keep. You don't let me get a chance to get in, and now I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh,
Thank you. Move on.
in the AFC East, of course, we were talking about it. The Patriots 7-3, Jets are 5-5, Miami 5-5, and Buffalo 4-7. Patriots pretty much have got this division wrapped up again.
You know something?
Yeah.
Okay. If you think San Francisco's getting into the wild card, you're crazy. Carolina's sitting at 7-3. Okay. They're right there for the wild card. Chicago's the only other team right now.
Mm-hmm.
At 6-4. Okay, Dallas ain't gonna get in. If the playoffs were to start today, Dallas would be out, Giants would be out, Chicago would be in, Green Bay would be out, Carolina and New Orleans would be in, and Seattle would be in, and San Francisco would be out. How crazy is that?
Very crazy, but you got to keep in mind with the wild card, anything can happen in the final few weeks for the wild card.
Well, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams fighting for really one wild card, because Carolina's got the other one wrapped up at 7-3. So you got 6 teams fighting for one wild card as of right now in the NFC. That's crazy.
Crazy, Jeff, but just enjoy watching what the next couple weeks are going to be like, because they're going to be really, really intense.
Now in the NFC, it's totally changed, because teams that should have won lost, and teams that should have lost won. So right now you got the Jets and Miami sitting there with the wild card holders. Unbelievable. With all the trouble Miami's having, they got the last wild card in the hand right now. How crazy is that, you son of a bitch?
Trying to return to the winning ways the Dolphins have since the Dan Marino era.
Yeah, well, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I think they're going to end up falling apart anyway.
It's going to be tough. Miami's got a tough game coming up this weekend. They play the Panthers. The Jets go to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. So both teams know that even though if the playoffs started today, they'd be the wild card. But Jets and Dolphins are going to have to fight for their playoff lives just to get in.
Yeah, and who expected Carolina to beat the Pats? Although it was nice to see. And when I heard that the Pats lost, I thought of you right away.
Disgusted is what it was. Patriots didn't play a very well. There have been a lot of games the Patriots have won this year or lost that have been close, but they've been in every one of them.
I wasn't disgusted. I really didn't watch the second half of the game, so it didn't matter.
A lot of people are still upset about the non-call, though. That should there have been pass interference?
Well, I hate to tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
They're making the quarterback.
Brady?
Not just Brady. Any quarterback in the NFL, they're making him almost non-hittable right now. They're trying to figure ways how to protect the quarterback even more. Hey, it's football. You want to get really radical and be able to change and not because the quarterback is the most important person on the team, and they're having too many injuries and this and that. So they want to protect the quarterback even more, which I think is the stupidest thing in the world. Okay? I got an idea. Here, this is how you're going to protect the quarterback even more, you jackasses. Say the Denver Broncos have the ball, or whatever team, the New England Patriots, the Giants, I don't care who it is, the Jets. The offensive team has the ball on the 40-yard line. The line of scrimmage for the offensive line is the 40-yard line. Watch this. The defensive line of scrimmage is the 39-yard line. Put a yard in between those two. Give the quarterback another extra second to be able to throw the ball. There you go. That'll help. Stupid asses. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever thought in my life. Give the offensive line a line of scrimmage and give the defensive line a line of scrimmage. So every time, say if the offensive line has the ball on the 38-yard line, the defensive line of scrimmage is the 37.
Yeah.
So it's a yard. So when they say hike, the defensive line's got to go a yard before they even touch the guys. Or the offensive line could push the defensive line right off. You want to save the quarterback, you say that's how you do it. Personally, he's a football player. If he gets hurt, he gets sacked, oh well. They're turning football into freaking pansy football. It's starting to really piss me off. And I wish we had more time to talk about that, but we don't.
Yeah, we don't. And, of course, we can talk more about it on Friday.
Yeah, it's starting to piss me off. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us. We'll be back tomorrow for another edition of Sports World Radio. Until then, my friends, that was Sean Mann. I'm Jeff Eskow. This has been Sports World Radio. Remember, you only have one life to live. Live it long, live it strong, and live it proud. And please don't forget, life may suck, but the alternative is unacceptable. Peace out, everybody. We will see you tomorrow. Later.
Good night.
Hey, boy, Stimpy. We sure had fun today, didn't we? So long, kids. Come on, Stimpy, say goodbye.
Where are we going?
The show's over. See you next time.
Next time? When's that?
Pretty soon. Don't worry.
Pretty soon?